Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm showing how you can make a t-shirt with the Cricut Joy machine. With the Cricut Joy, the widest it can cut is 4.5 inches and 4.25 with a mat, but I want to show you in this video how you can cut out a design that will be 9 inches wide on a t-shirt. So if you are interested in finding out how to do that, then just keep on watching. If you are new here, I would love it if you subscribe to my channel. It is completely free, and let's get into the video. The first thing that I want to do is go up to the upper right corner and choose Cricut Joy. A lot of times I forget to do this, then after going through the Make It screen, I have to go all the way back to switch it. So I always try to remember to do that first. And in this video, I am using the Cricut Joy machine. I'm going to click on my uploads and select my SVG. I've already uploaded this from my downloads folder. I'll click on insert images. This is a Patreon image, which I really like it. It says adulting, but I also think 2020 would fit perfectly with this. But if you're interested in my Patreon account, I always have that link down below, and it is a membership where you can use SVGs for personal and commercial use. We have over 100 SVGs right now, and I have some really fun fall ones coming up really soon. The first thing that I'm going to do is size this. So I'm going to go over to my width, then select 9 and hit enter. The t-shirt that I'm adding this to is a size medium, and I like to do about 8.5 by 9 for the width for those SVGs. I put together a t-shirt sizing guide for vinyl on a PDF, so I will link that down below for you also. I have 5 free printables, so you can grab those if you want to. Next, what I want to show you is, if you look over in the layers panel, this has tons of layers. Each letter, star, it's all separate because this is hand drawn. I work with somebody who hand draws these for me. So normally what I would do before I make this is hit attach. You need to do that so it shows up exactly like this on the Make It screen. So I want to show you, if I click on Make It, it's going to be all random on the mat. You can see all the different letters. It's not showing up how it's supposed to. So that's why normally I would click on attach. But with the Cricut Joy, it won't work like this. So I'll show you. In the corner here, it has a warning saying that the image is too large because it needs to be 4.5 by 48 inches. So when I first got my Cricut Joy, I thought I was mainly going to use it for cards, decals, labels, and things like that. But I did find a way to be able to make a t-shirt, so I'm excited to show you how to do that right now. I'm going to go back down, then click detach. You can see that it's all grouped together still. So to be able to work with this, I just need to come up here, then click ungroup. And what I'm going to do is separate this. So I am going to have the Cricut Joy cut out the adulting with the stars separately from the bottom part. I'm going to drag over all of this to select it. That's my favorite way to select all the different pieces, but you can also hit shift on your keyboard. I have all of that selected. I'm going to come back down here and click attach. If you look up at the width and height, you can see that it's about 6 inches by 2.7 inches. So what the Cricut's going to do is it's actually going to rotate adulting. So it is going, let me just show you on here. It's going to turn it like this. And when you do that, you can see that the width turns into 2.765, which is underneath our 4.25. If you look at the height, it doesn't really matter how long it is. I believe the Cricut Joy can cut up to 20 feet. So what you really need to worry about is the width. I'm just going to bring this back because the design space will automatically turn it for me on the mat. Now I'm going to come down here and I'll do the exact same thing. I'm going to highlight over all of this, then click attach. And you want to click attach at this part so that it will show up like this once again when you click make it. And if you look up here, it still says 9 inches, but Cricut will automatically turn it on the mat, so the width will end up being 2.205 inches. When I go to make this, I'll just have to piece this together, and it'll be easier to picture this when I click on make it. So I'm ready to do that now. I'll select make it. I'm going to choose on a mat because I'm actually using white vinyl. I didn't change the color to white because it's all one color, so it doesn't really matter. Then I'll click on done. And as you can see, it turns it. So here's the first one, and here is the second one. So it's really neat. This will actually be 9 inches in the width, but you can still make it work. I'm going to be using heat transfer vinyl or HTV, so I'm going to mirror both of my designs. I'm not going to be using smart vinyl. I'm going to be using heat transfer vinyl that I already have, so that's why I selected on matte. If I was using smart vinyl, I would have selected without a matte. Then I'll click on continue. The Cricut Joy is so nice because it just connects through Bluetooth, so it's really easy. You don't have to plug the cord in or anything. It's showing up with my favorites, but you can also find popular. And under the Cricut Joy, most of the smart vinyl is under popular because that's what you use a lot with the Cricut Joy. I don't see what I need, so I'm going to click on browse all materials. I'm just going to type in iron and find mine. I am going to select everyday iron-on. Then I'll hit done. I'm going to be using Caesar Easy Weed, which is a heat transfer vinyl. It just reminds you to mirror your design and place your iron-on material shiny side down, and I will show you how I cut this out on my Cricut Joy. Here's my roll of Caesar Easy Weed that I'll be using. I'm using my self-healing mat to cut the vinyl down so it'll fit on the Cricut Joy mat. I love using my Cricut healing mat. It is so awesome, and I highly recommend it for cutting materials like this, and I always weed on this mat. I really like how the measurements are set up just like the Cricut cutting mat. I also really like to use the Cricut True Control knife. It's better than any X-Acto knife that I have tried in the past, so I recommend that also. For my second vinyl piece, I grabbed my ruler, which made it a lot easier to cut it. I grabbed my Cricut Joy mat. I only have the blue one right now, but it still works great for my HTV. I placed my HTV shiny side down on the mat. I get a lot of questions on what HTV is, and it is heat transfer vinyl. The difference between that and iron-on is that iron-on is a Cricut brand. Now I grab my Cricut Joy. I have the power cord plugged in, but like I said earlier, it doesn't need a separate cord to connect to the computer. It uses Bluetooth instead. To open it, I just pull down the lid. I feed the mat through the rollers and it'll automatically align. The Cricut Joy doesn't have any buttons on the actual machine, so you'll go back into Cricut Design Space, then click Go. The Cricut Joy will start cutting. I've never had any problems with the Cricut Joy cutting through the vinyl. It has worked great on all of my projects so far. When it's done cutting out the first image, it'll have a check mark, then it'll go on to the next one. I had to go back in and choose everyday iron-on again, so you might have to do that again, then you'll click on Go. Once it's done, you'll click Unload in Cricut Design Space. Next, I'm going to weed my material. You've probably seen me use this before on my channel if you followed me on here for a while, but I love using this trash can for weeding heat transfer vinyl. It's small, so it just fits right on my table, and if you are interested in this, I can link it down below for you. Here, I'm just weeding out the negative space of the vinyl. Weeding heat transfer vinyl is so much easier than weeding adhesive vinyl, in my opinion. So iron-on projects are usually what I recommend first if you're just getting started with the Cricut. I grabbed my Easy Press 2 and set it to 315 at 30 seconds. I found the heat setting by going to the Cricut heat guide. You can see on the screen here how I'm using it on my phone. I made a video showing how to set the heat guide on your phone like an app to easily access it, so I will link that down below for you. I'm using my large Easy Press mat. If you don't have this, you can use a towel instead, but the mats make it so convenient. Next, I placed my shirt on it. It is a cotton poly blend that I picked up from Michael's. I like to fold it in half and make sure the armpits are all lined up, then run my Easy Press over the shirt. This will preheat the shirt, and it'll also create a crease to easily find the center of the shirt, just to help line up the decal. To line up my decal, I fold my vinyl in half, not on the sticky side. That will find the center. I just press it down a little bit at the top, and I line it up on the line that I created with my Easy Press 2. Cricut shared on their Facebook page someone who cut their old mat up like this on the screen to easily line up their designs. I thought that was genius and I wanted to share it. I want to give this a try because I always seem to struggle with lining up my designs on my t-shirt. Normally, I place the design 2 inches down, but when the design is a little more narrow like this one, I place it closer to 3 inches down. Here I'm cutting some of the carrier sheet because you don't want the 2 carrier sheets overlapping. Once I have the vinyl placed where I want it, I put a Teflon sheet over my design and place my Easy Press 2 on top. You can use parchment paper also in place of the Teflon sheet. I'm using my 10 by 12 Easy Press 2. I just recently purchased this one after having the 9 by 9, and I highly recommend this large one if you're looking into getting a Cricut Easy Press 2. I love that you don't have to press twice because all of the vinyl fits underneath it, and it works better for infusible ink projects because you only should press once for infusible ink. This vinyl is a warm peel, so I let it cool down for a few seconds so it's not too hot, then I remove the carrier sheet. Here's how it looks. It's pretty quick and easy to put together a t-shirt with the Cricut Joy and Easy Press 2. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you are new. I would love to have you here. Hit the bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos, and don't forget to check out my Patreon account in the description box below.